there might be something in the Minnesota air that just like makes artists kind of hold themselves back in a way.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't know. And I'm probably wrong about that. Like, that's no shot.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it.
All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. Special guest in the building, Ray AMOR.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Not too bad.
You done interviews before?
No.
No. So this is like, is this your first, or just kind of done some
Just like,
here and there?
I mean, like, I wouldn't even call them interviews, just people being curious.
Talking? And shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, got you. Okay. So, I mean, talk to me. I mean, I've talked to quite a few people today, actually, alone, that are outside of the genre that we usually, I'm not even going to say genre. Genre is probably not the right word, but primarily I talk to rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like, I kind of allow myself to be in that box, sort of, before. Not even like box, but whatever. Like, define yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But like, truly, there's so much music alone has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to consider myself more of an artist, just because I use it as an art form.
Yeah, for sure. So what's the inspiration behind the music that you make?
I'm huge on capturing moments.
Okay.
So like, there's moments of life that just naturally feel special for some reason. And I like to try to encapsulate that with music as much as possible.
Okay. So that makes sense. So you're inspired by life.
Yeah,
by moments.
very much so. Yeah.
Are you inspired by, other artists as well, I assume?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's a natural part of art. But with inspiration, I don't think you can allow like that to influence you to a certain extent. Like,
depends on who you are, because I've definitely heard all different ranges of that. I've heard
for sure
people that are trying to legitimately do what other people are doing because it's working. I've heard people that say they don't listen to anything aside from themselves because they don't want to be influenced.
Yeah.
And I've heard people that just don't, like, they can do both.
And that's what's beautiful about music, though, I think.
It's fluid.
It's just you. Like, even if, like, you are similar to another person or you take a lot of inspiration from them, it's still you at the end of the day.
True.
So, really, like you said, I'm inspired by life. That's just me.
Yeah.
Like,
what got you into music in the first place?
I've always been into music.
Yeah.
But I guess making it myself. When I was a kid, I had an uncle that played guitar, so he taught me how to play guitar and shit. And so I'd listen to like Nirvana, Sublime, all that shit. And moving forward, in like freshman year of high school, I'd record on my iPhone in my parents' basement and shit. And like, and people around school liked it and did like some shit through that. But then my friend went to engineering school and he was like, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
So now we're doing that.
What is Scumboys Records?
Scumboys Records is my friend Semigos actually came up with that.
Okay.
And then we met through music because we were both like garage band around the same area, like just releasing whatever. And then we met each other and it just clicked. I knew what he wanted with Scumboys, but I knew that he wasn't going to allow himself to do it for himself, if that makes sense. Like he had all these ideas that I thought were super sick, and like I saw his image.
Yeah.
But there's so much more that comes with everything.
So you saw the vision, but you knew that he wouldn't go through with the vision if you didn't jump on board?
And that's not me saying that he needed me in any way.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
and that's okay.
I guess
That's
you're right.
exactly what
Wait,
you said.
well, yeah, no, you're right. It in a way, then I suppose we need each other.
Yeah, that's
and that's like natural family shit.
Yeah.
Like, where one leaves off, the other picks up, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like my friend going to engineering school.
Yeah.
Now he's helping us take our music to a level that it's not that we couldn't have before,
Yeah.
but we weren't, and we were lacking on that. So
Yeah. What is the mean? Like, what does Scum Boys mean? What are Scum Boys?
so Scumboys, like, I honestly, as of lately, because there's been a lot of discussion, like change the name, whatever, but to me, what Scumboys is just like a hub
Okay.
for like all of our shit.
But does it have meaning?
Yes.
That's more what I'm interested in.
Yes, and I'm gonna have my friend Sammy Ghost come here, since he is the one that came up with that,
Okay.
and go more into depth on that.
Yep.
But yeah, cause like I am a part of Scumboys. It is lame to not give an answer to that, I feel like, but that is his answer to give, I believe.
It sounds self-deprecating,
What do you mean by that?
calling
Like-
yourself scum. essentially.
Yes, and that's why there was discussion to change the name.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I felt like no matter how good of a person you meet, everyone has a little bit of like scum in them,
For sure.
like scummy thoughts,
Yeah.
like actions, whatever it may be. Everyone has that,
Yeah.
and it's natural. So that was my argument against changing it and like staying true to who we are.
Yeah.
It's like we're pieces of shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
it-
there's anything wrong with self-deprecating. I mean,
exactly, like I said, he is a dude to go way more into depth on that.
for
But
sure.
but yeah,
So
so
is it just you two, or are there other?
so
artists or
we're the
people?
two that really started it. We work with a lot of other people that are just friends we met through doing music and
Yeah.
shit, and they record with at the same studio and shit. So they like we have a lot of plans for signing more artists
Mhm.
that we haven't jumped on yet, because I want to help them find themselves more first, if that makes sense.
So
like,
you guys have eyes on specific.
oh,
artists?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't want to divulge who though?
Not really.
How come?
Not because honestly, I didn't tell anybody I was doing this today.
Okay.
Because a lot of those people are people that like just allow life to restrict them in ways, and I don't think that's fair to themselves or to just music and art in general.
Yeah. So in passing earlier, just off the mic, you mentioned that some of your older music was like kind of depressing and not.
Yeah. So I did release an album in November, Reflections of Dimensions, and it's basically all about self-reflection. I didn't release any music for 2 years, and that was because I was leveling up, like behind the scenes, and that's really why I'm doing this here.
What was the level up? You were just working just on personal shit, just to.
My friend went to engineering school.
Okay.
Before I was recording myself on my fucking iPhone and shit,
Yeah.
and like it wasn't bad.
So you're starting to
but-
do it. It was more like you were taking it from the basement to like
yes,
real music.
very much so. Yeah.
So that in that process, then like prior to you leveling up, were you even taking it seriously?
I didn't know what I was doing.
It's just a hobby.
I wouldn't say it was a hobby, but I wouldn't say I was allowing myself to indulge.
Okay.
Like when you asked, how did I get into music? I've always been into music.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not that I wasn't taking myself serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think I didn't know how to take it seriously.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the professional side was a little, you kind of had to
For sure.
figure that out.
Yes.
Do you feel like you have it figured out, or you're still figuring it out?
No.
Working on
I don't
it?
have anything figured out. I just know that music has something to offer me,
Okay.
and I'm not I feel like I don't know. This is just
What do you do it for? Like, what's your main objective? Do you want to become a millionaire rock star living the crazy lifestyle, or would you do it if you never made money off of it?
I already do it without making money off of it.
Would
Like
you
I
would you
understand.
continue to do it?
Oh, for sure. There's no other thing to me that important in life.
Okay,
Like music
that's good.
is so a part of me.
Yeah.
And that sounds weird to say, I feel like, but like
No, I get it. I'm the same way. I mean, I don't even make music, and music is such a huge
exactly,
part of who I am.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I never chose. I guess I did, but like,
Or did you?
that's why. That's why I'm saying like. That's why I love
What do you think
discussion.
About, what do you think
and
about free will? None of this shit might have been up to you. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Is like
I
I
don't
don't I am not allowing myself to question those certain things anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just allowing.
Got you.
So
Yeah. That's
and
fair.
music happens to be a part of that allowance.
Yeah. Are you from Minnesota?
Yes.
Like through and through?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So as far as like the Minnesota music scene, it's a big talker, right? Like
Mhm,
it's
for sure.
constantly talked about. What do we
Yes.
do with all this talent? How are we who's gonna be the person that's gonna bust through and really make it happen? Like, what are your general thoughts around our scene here in Minnesota? Because
Mixed.
we're a very artistic state.
Insanely artistic.
Yeah.
Insanely.
But yet we still have yet to have that one
Yes.
like superstar.
Yes. I don't think you can like.
Aside from Prince. Whoa,
yes.
hold on.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
kill. Aside from Prince.
Yes.
Since Prince.
I don't know.
Oh.
Like, people would argue that Lizzo and like.
That's the funny part to me though, is like, I feel like only Minnesota would claim Lizzo. She ain't from here. I get that she got it cracking here,
Yeah,
but I mean,
I know. And it's stuff like that. Like, I don't know. So like, my opinion on the Minnesota music scene is very all over the place, kind of, because I love it. You like kind of have to. I feel like, especially if you're Minnesotan, like you're like, there's a good music scene,
yeah.
but it doesn't like get to that next level, and I can't give you an answer on why. Like,
Yeah, I don't think anybody has an answer.
That-
I've been having this conversation for damn near 8 years, and it's always the same answers. Oh, we need unity. People gotta work together.
But
It's
there is
crabs
that
in a
unity,
barrel,
and then there's not, and
Yeah.
then it is. But I feel like that's just everything in general. Everything's kind of like,
yeah. I mean, we have a lot of producers
yes,
from Minnesota that have definitely broke through that ceiling and are millionaires that are out there. I mean, there's
yeah.
quite a few that are out there really making a solid living off of their art. But
I feel like there might be something in the Minnesota air that just like makes artists kind of hold themselves back in a way.
yeah, maybe.
And I don't know. And I'm probably wrong about
No,
that.
I
Like,
think
that's no shots
Well,
at anybody
that's the
or
thing.
anything.
That's the thing that I think is the biggest thing for me is everybody is all, and I include myself in this, so I'm not blaming anybody. I have done this as well. We're always looking for that one thing of why we're not
Yeah.
there yet, and it's not one thing; it's 100 things. I think the weather plays into it.
Yes.
I think the fact that we're so rare in that we have Minneapolis and St. Paul, so we have the Twin Cities, not just one big main city where it comes from.
And that's like a battle of itself.
Right.
And
Unity is a problem, but also I see a lot of unity. But
That's
I think
what
the
I'm
one thing
saying.
that you just said is maybe the biggest one. There seems to be something about people from Minnesota where the majority of us that are in the entertainment industry are trying to make it happen from here
yes.
when it's not here. So we don't venture out into the world. And then what the problem that we run into then not venturing out into the world is we are behind. We don't understand how things are happening in LA. We don't understand how things are happening in Atlanta. We don't understand how things are happening in these giant markets. So because we don't have the experience. So we're over here like, no.
Definitely. We have a good scene, but
We'll make it happen over here with our
yeah.
lovey-dovey shit. And it's like the entertainment business is a monster. It will
Very much so.
eat you the fuck up and puke you back up and then eat the fucking puke. Like it's a dog, man. Like it's nasty.
Well, I even like noticed the other day, speaking on that, is like anyone from Minnesota, you'll like watch Snapchat stories and it's like anytime there's somewhere nice in the winter, they're flaunting that shit. And like everyone just flaunts everything naturally, but it's like there's people that just live there.
Correct. That's their everyday.
You're just in Florida, motherfucker.
Yeah. But then we also try to get down on people that move out of Minnesota to try and make it happen.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me.
Yes.
Like I get having an issue with somebody like that's from Minnesota and then they move to Atlanta, they get it cracking in Atlanta, and then they never mention Minnesota. I get that. You could be upset about that.
Being a Minnesotan, absolutely. Because
rep,
you're like
rep the home
yes,
state.
Of course.
I get that. But on another level, I also understand the other side where it's like, man, Minnesota, I had to come to Atlanta to make this shit happen. Y'all didn't fucking help me, so why am I going to mention y'all? I get that too. I understand that side too. So, you know what I mean? That's the thing is there isn't just one thing.
That there's that Minnesotan in you that's like, you have to like.
That's a big part of it. That's a big part of it is there's a level of pride here in Minnesota. Where
Absolutely.
It's like every artist wants to be that person. And I'll say it's not just artists. It's people that do what I do.
Exactly.
We want to be the top dog.
Yes.
And we fight for that crown of Minnesota that's worth not shit.
I feel like that's human nature is to want to be
Agreed.
the top dog. But yeah. You're right.
So
like,
so I guess so that will lead me to my next question. Then what sets you apart?
What sets me apart is my what's the word? I'm missing the word right now. How broad I am with my music. Like there's no genre.
Versatility.
Yeah, versatility.
That's the word,
Yes.
Yep. Can't be boxed up.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And so like honestly like I started rapping and shit like just cuz that like it just happened.
Cuz rap is cool.
Well, not even that. Like I honestly hate that I do rap. That's what sucks, and that's why it's like, oh, I'm more of an artist. I went through a whole thing with that for a while. It's like, am I a rapper? Am I an artist? I don't want to define myself at all. But like, that's what I'm saying. Music just happens, and that's why it's those moments. So like, I'll make like some 80s synthwave sounding shit, and like, that's just that moment. And then the next day, I'm rapping my ass off. Yeah. And then the next day, it's some indie like acoustic guitar shit, and like, there is no limitations.
I think that's a good thing. I think having versatility and doing and just letting the music happen is a really good thing. There's a benefit to that in today's world because
Very
if
much
you
so.
are, let's just say for example, the baby.
Yeah.
His time's kind of run out because
Exactly.
it's repetitive. It's like the same flow over the same beat, and it's like can you mix it up?
And he's probably a little bit scared to break out of that box too.
Probably.
I mean, like he has songs that are a little bit, like different.
And I'm using him as an example because obviously he's still a huge star. Maybe not so much here in the States anymore. He's kind of lost a little bit, but you know, I saw a video of him today out in Hong Kong. Massive crowd, like trying to grab him, and
he'll be a star till.
Yeah, so he's good, but you know what I mean. Like I think we get tired of the same old trick.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You look at the biggest artist on the planet, right? Like look at Drake. He's always evolving and changing what he does. Even when he is rapping, he finds new ways to rap.
Exactly.
It's crazy. That's what makes him special. Is he finds new ways to do the things that he's been doing.
Yes, and I feel like it comes very naturally in a studio for him. You know, like and that's what I'm saying is like I can't sit and spend time questioning like what the fuck this is. Am I a rapper?
And who knows
like,
what he's created that has never come out.
Exactly.
Some of the wildest shit ever.
Exactly. That's what I was saying coming up here is like I feel like a lot of artists just like don't drop shit.
I agree.
I'm very, very guilty of that. And that's why I'm...
Yeah. I don't think artists in Minnesota I don't think that's unique to artists in Minnesota. I think that's a thing.
Yes. And you brought up the weather before too. Like
the weather matters.
This late in winter, people start getting some type of way.
Yeah, the weather matters. I mean, we see it affect all kinds of things. You know, it affects our professional sports teams. Like,
yes,
why the fuck would LeBron James want to come play for the Timberwolves?
Exactly.
Why would like he lives in LA right now?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? That's an example, but you know what I mean? Like, why would a big free agent want to come here? And then even when we do get a big signing, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Before they're the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the weather matters. It does matter.
Very much.
It really does, and it affects us probably way more than we know because we've lived with it for a very long time.
That's literally something I started to notice this winter. It's like
Seasonal
everyone
depression is
around.
real.
Well, like everyone knows it's real, but like it was very evident for some reason this year in like my group of homies and shit. So
Yeah.
I was like, you either get out of here for a winter or
Yeah.
figure something out.
Yeah. Go to Florida and post on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Go do it. Go post a palm tree. I get that though. I understand that too.
Well, like I understand both sides.
Yeah.
Like you're having fun, whatever. Like I'm not trying to knock nobody.
No, but I get what you mean
also
though
it's
too.
like,
It's a little like
that's just where people live. So I
act like you've been here before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I get it for sure. We're
Mhm.
definitely.
Like-
And we talk about Minnesota. This is probably a thing in Montana too,
Mm-hmm.
or Alaska, or I mean,
Exactly.
like this. But this is what we know.
Yes.
So yeah, this is probably a thing elsewhere.
Exactly.
Like Nebraska probably has like the most bussin' music scene in the world that nobody's ever heard of.
Do they?
And they're having a podcast over there right now talking about how are we going to bust through the ceiling here in Nebraska? You know what I mean? Like I'm sure it's happening elsewhere.
Anytime I got to drive through Nebraska, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Nebraska was a bad choice because it's not happening in Nebraska.
No.
But maybe like, South Dakota,
I know.
North
what you're
Dakota,
saying.
Fargo's probably just cracking. They got
Well,
some of the best
like
rappers
Alaska
on the planet.
has just got the craziest scene.
For sure. Yeah. There's Hawaiians out there that got like the best rapper on the planet that nobody's ever heard of.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It exists.
For sure.
But we're here. So we're talking about here.
Exactly.
This is what I care about.
Exactly. Well, and like the scene is incredible.
It is.
Like it is.
No, it's incredible.
And like there's always some local events going on.
Always.
And like you said, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's there. We just gotta figure out the recipe of success, I guess.
And we're young. I mean, the
overall scene.
very specifically the hip hop scene
Yes.
is still an infant.
Yes.
Still very, very young. So
Mhm.
like I'm not worried. I used to. But now I'm like, it's so like
I definitely feel that. Like
Yeah.
I used to worry too. I was
Yeah.
like,
it'll happen. It's gonna
exactly.
happen. It'll all
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It just like it takes that commitment of like the artist
Yeah.
and like just things to happen right, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you can, even if you have the recipe, I feel like it's not 100%.
For sure.
You still got to have that star.
And I do feel like we're playing catch up.
Mhm.
We're behind.
100%.
We're behind, like
Well, like you'll go on vacation to like Miami or LA or something,
Yeah.
and like I remember like I went 5 or 10 years ago and they had like the automated like McDonald's ordering
Yeah.
before us, like
Yeah.
well before us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even something like this platform.
Exactly.
Minnesota was not ready for Live on Lake Street. Meanwhile,
There's a lot.
LA has had no jumper for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
people call me Adam 22, so that's why I use that. But
People just kind of do
controversial
that with podcast shit, like platform shit.
yeah,
Like
we're not any different than No Jumper, Vlad, academics. They're all
Exactly.
very controversial, and people give Minnesota were very sensitive to that.
mm-hmm.
And it's like that lets me know like y'all are not
The internet in
ready.
general is sensitive to fucking everything, I feel
True.
like. But
selective outrage and
Yes.
selective morality.
yes.
Yeah, those are the two big ones.
Mm-hmm.
But they're being talked about a lot now.
That is true.
Yeah, a lot.
That
You
is.
hear a lot of selective outrage, a lot of selective morality. But
Conversations are happening.
they are.
But
I can't take anybody that gets mad at me for talking to a rapper that has a beef with another rapper while you're typing it from your phone that literally was made from cobalt mining
exactly.
from slavery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
I bring that.
We can't have that conversation. Like,
Yes.
you just type this on your phone for that.
I
it's
bring
literally
that
built from
argument up
slavery.
all the time.
Yeah.
I know that
We're all hypocrites.
exactly.
We're all hypocrites.
Yes.
All of us, including me. All hypocrites.
It's human
Try to
nature.
do better. That's the key. Try.
Exactly.
And
Like,
recognize that you're a hypocrite.
well, and like owning an iPhone, a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people don't know.
So like, how can you be guilty of something you don't know?
Yeah.
Ignorance is a bliss.
For sure. It is.
And that's why I bring that argument up all the time.
Mhm.
Is like, because they just don't know.
Yeah. A lot
And
of
it's
people don't know.
fine. I'm not guilting you of not knowing.
Yep.
I didn't know at
Yeah.
one point.
Yep.
But I'm figuring it out and I'm trying to be better as days go on,
Yeah.
as I experience life.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm getting the new iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna buy more Nikes.
Yeah. Well,
and I know where this shit comes from.
yeah,
I know. I'm a hypocrite.
that's just
But so are y'all. But the first stage is putting it out on the table. I am a hypocrite.
yes.
I am a hypocrite. And
But
then-
you're accepting of that, and you like that's being vulnerable.
Yeah.
So there's such beauty in vulnerability.
Make a phone that doesn't need cobalt for the batteries. I'll get
Exactly.
it. I don't think it exists as far as I know. As far as I know.
I don't know. My girlfriend and I were talking about getting like flip phones, but then I was like, oh, with this shit I'm trying to do, there's no
it's
fucking way.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. That's the thing, is it's like we're kind of left with
It's
no
like
choice
monopolized.
almost. Yeah, it's like
Well, it's like you can airdrop shit now. Like if somebody comes to the studio with an Android, you're like, I can't just airdrop this shit to you.
if a green bubble pops up when I text you, I'm judging the
That's
fuck
what
out
I'm
of you.
saying.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Stupid.
you super funny.
Stupid fucking green bubble.
Yeah, I'm looking at you really sideways. Like if my emojis show up as the little square box with the question mark in it on your phone, I'm looking at you crazy. Yeah, man. But
Gross.
the world is the world, and there's always going to be a new problem. And like you said, the best thing we can do is just try to be better.
Exactly.
Just try.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying with and for me, all this even comes back to music again, because it's like all this shit is going on where I feel like I can do something beautiful and genuinely have something to offer is with music. So I have no time to question that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing though. That's kind of that's freedom.
Exactly. Exactly.
Freedom.
And I know it's difficult to allow yourself that freedom.
Yeah. Do you play a lot of instruments?
I used to.
You don't
I
anymore?
used to. I think I could.
Yeah.
But I would just as a kid naturally pick up kind of any instrument and be able to make it sound good.
Yeah.
So I would be like, "Oh, I play this." But actually playing, I would say I only really play guitar.
Okay. And you do that? Do you do live instrumentation when you record?
Sometimes.
I'm a big fan of live instrumentation.
Oh my god, me too. Yeah. That's something I'm really, really getting more into.
Yeah.
Is just using live instruments for recording. I think when you're recording into a computer, it's very easy to lose the humanity
For sure.
of the music.
Yep.
So in songs that I don't someone just sent me the beat or what have you, I still try my hardest to put so much of myself on it that you feel the humanism in it.
For sure.
But that's why I am really trying to get into that, because it's something I notice.
Yeah. So what are your plans career-wise going forward? What are you doing these days? What are you moving into?
I'm really, really just loading up content and
making a lot?
yes.
Yeah.
And because I was allowing myself to not drop anything for a while.
Yeah.
And then my one friend who's a videographer, he wanted to make a music video for one of the songs I was putting on my album.
Yep.
And then so he kind of just hit me up one day, I'm dropping this. When are you dropping the album?
Oh, so you shot the video?
Oh yeah,
So the video
it's out. It's out. This is that depressing album.
Oh,
I was
got
talking
you.
about.
Okay.
Yeah, my friend Juicy Joker, Garrett McKenzie, he wanted to make a video for a song, so we did. Traumatized. You can go watch that now. He hit me up and was like, when are you dropping this?
So he was just sick of you not releasing, and he said, "Fuck, I'm dropping this."
Yeah, that's kind of just how he is.
Good.
And him and I had a lot of conversations before that video, and he kind of knew that I was oh, I want to, but won't allow myself to. So that was all right. Sent him a
Is
date.
this the same person that Scumboys created?
No,
Different person.
he's a snowboarder videographer,
Gotcha.
dude,
Okay.
and we actually met through Kendamas. He's on the Sweets Mob,
Okay.
so
I'm not familiar.
yeah,
I know Kendama.
yeah. So we met through that, and then he heard my music and
Okay.
was like, let's shoot.
So you
a
so
video.
you just dropped. What did you just drop?
I dropped an album in November.
November. Okay.
Yes.
So it's relative. I mean, in today's age, that's not very new.
No, not at all.
But it is
not at all.
relatively new. And
Yes.
you're still an underground artist. So there's
Yes,
still
very much so.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying coming up here is like, I'm really like using this to like, well, not just this,
gonna
but like,
this is gonna catapult.
yes,
What
yes,
your next move,
yes.
which is
And
another project.
So I have been just like making projects because that's how I've always been.
Yep.
But now I'm just like,
It's not-
all right, like, yeah,
it's not the
like,
move.
well, it's like instead of taking like another 2 years off
Yeah.
and then having like another album out, even though like it would be sick as an album, like that's not how it works anymore. It's not. And so,
Unless you're already very
Yes.
solidified in your
yes,
position. It
yes.
doesn't,
And like there will be, if I do this right, there will be a time for that.
for sure.
And that's what I'm saying. So now it's just about breaking that barrier, making myself do it.
Yeah. I
And
think
doing it.
I think the thing that artists don't do enough is you can still go the old school route and drop singles leading up to an album
Mm-hmm.
and put the singles on the album. And I don't know how to do it, but I know there's a way where you can drop a single, say in March,
Mm-hmm.
let that bitch run till mid-April, and then drop another single, and then let that run till May, and then you can drop the album in June, with those singles on it, and then the streams that you got
Do you
previously.
think that has anything to do with like funding behind that? Because like, because I don't know if I've ever like,
I think there's a
See-
way to do it through streaming.
Oh,
I don't know though. You might be
for
right.
sure. I know that there's like,
That could be the works of a label. I don't know. You're
Like-
right. That's possible.
and I'm not saying that is what it takes.
Yeah.
I think you can do it without funding as long as you have a good like marketing plan.
So I'll give you an example. I don't know if you're familiar,
Mhm.
but there was an artist from Minneapolis. His name was Daddy De Niro. He was a part of the free Wi-Fi group with Jay
okay.
Plaza and
Yeah,
Lyft,
yep,
right. So
yep.
Daddy De Niro, he dropped a single. I forget what the title of the song was, but he dropped it and then he let it go for like a year and a half,
Mhm.
and it ran up I think 2 million streams, and then he added it to his album. So when his album dropped, it dropped with 2 million streams already. And then that helps move it up in the algorithm, so then it's being suggested to people. So when you're out, it's kind of like, remember when Jay-Z did that with
Yep.
Magna Carta,
Yep.
where he dropped platinum already. So there is a way to do it. I don't know how to do it, but I know it can be done.
And the internet is crazy.
Yeah.
Is it like no one has like control, like just of
Yeah.
like what could happen?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess you never really know. I obviously think like with funding it's easier.
It definitely is.
Like
That's another thing Minnesota is missing. Funding.
for sure.
Money.
For
I
sure.
mean, not to say Minnesota has money, but lack of people behind artists with a backing.
Yes.
That is something that we're
Yes.
funding people that want to help a career.
And I do feel like people in Minnesota do kind of feel defined by that. Like by the whole Minnesota, like either feeling so much need to be the breakout person
Yeah.
or like, I don't know, maybe it's just like people should chill and focus on being like a stepping stone.
Well, the
for-
guys that are doing it don't seem to care about the fact that they're doing it.
Yeah.
They don't lean on I'm the best at Minnesota.
Mhm.
It's just they're just doing it.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. There's something to that for sure. We do a lot of it.
Yes.
A lot of the
Yes.
focus on, I'm the
There's
best.
some in the air.
I'm the best in Minnesota. I'm
Yes.
Minnesota. I'm the face of the city. I'm the this. I'm
Why
the
can't
that.
you just be from
just
Minnesota?
be great and
Yeah.
also be from Minnesota? Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm guilty of it too.
Everyone
My
is.
tagline is Minnesota's
Everyone is.
#1 daily show, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
There
that's-
also are no other #1. There
Mhm.
also are no other daily shows.
Well, I mean,
We're
like,
Minnesota's only daily show. That's the new tagline. Minnesota's only one and only daily show.
there you go.
Boom. Just like that.
What
See?
you gonna do when?
Then we go back to #1. Somebody else tries it, then we go back to #1.
I was gonna say.
Then we go back to #1.
I was gonna say.
But now we're the only. So we got to wrap, man.
There
But
you go.
before we do, tell them where to find you, where to find your music, everything that you want the people to go do.
You can find me on Instagram at Straight Out of Lino, Lino Lakes, Minnesota. That
Oh, straight out of Lino. I didn't even put that together.
yeah. So Straight Out of Lino on Instagram, Scumboys Records on everything. Scumboys Records is like our hub for everything. That's the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Instagram, Twitter, everything.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, man, and I wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate you.
Keep going. I think you got a good mindset.
Thank you very much.
That's it. Another episode of Minnesota's only daily show.
There you
live
go.
On Lake Street. I'm Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it.